If you're looking to buy a cash car in 2026, this is going to be the video for you. In this video, we're going to go through each step that I took when I bought my car for cash off marketplace. We're going to go over 5 simple steps. We're going to start with identifying your budget. And then we're going to choose your top 5 cars in the type of car you want. So let's say all you want is an Accord. You're going to go over all the Accords in the area. You're going to pick your top 5 out of the batch, the top 5 that you're actually going to spend time to go look at. Because not every car is going to be a good car. You know what I mean? You don't have to look at every single car. You just need to identify a top 5 and put your focus towards that. And then we're going to go through the process of withdrawing the money. We're talking about buying a cash car. There's no credit involved this time. So you actually have to have the money on deck if you're going to buy a cash car. You can't finance a cash car. Money. You gotta take out the money. Then we're gonna take this money. We're gonna go meet up with the seller if we're a serious buyer, and we're gonna take it on the test drive. We're gonna make sure the car is worth our money. You know what I mean? We don't want to spend our money on a car that's not worth it. And finally, last but not least, we're gonna go over paperwork. Paperwork. This is probably going to be one of the most important steps that gets overlooked. When I was looking to buy my car, I didn't really see anything online that was specific to me when it came to paperwork. All right, guys, so do not mind my writing, but let's start with our budget. The reason you need to identify your budget, and this is going to be the crucial, I would say the most crucial part, because this gets the ball rolling. Because you need to have an idea of what you can afford. It's either you're going for something newer or you have more money to dish out. Let's say your budget is $20,000, right? Your range is going to be like this, you know, and down here is going to be $0. And over here is going to be 20K. And you can afford all these cars within this spectrum. Obviously, this is going to be 10K. This is the median. So all these cars you can afford, right? Because your budget is 20,000. You can afford a wide variety of cars. So you have a lot of options. But let's say your budget is 5,000, right? And this is the same 0. This is the same 20. And this is the median, 10,000. The same curve, right? You can only afford this. This right here doesn't even apply to you. This is all you can afford because this is 5,000. So this cuts your research in like what, a third? You only got to do a third of the research because this is the market you can take advantage of with that $5,000. Why would you waste your time looking at all of this when this is all you really need to look at? Versus if you have 20,000 and you know you want something nicer, why look at all of this when you want something over here? You know what I mean? So depending on your budget is going to determine what type of cars you should even be looking at. So you need to really look over your finances, see what you can afford. You know what I mean? Don't just look at anything. I mean, obviously, you want to kind of look at the market, see what cars are going for, kind of have an idea, educate yourself. But the first thing you should really do is understand what you're willingly able to dish out. Are you comfortable spending 20,000? Are you comfortable spending 10? Are you comfortable spending 6, 5, 4? You know what I mean? This varies person to person, but definitely check that out. Make sure you're looking within your budget. And then from your budget, when you identify what part of the range you fall in and what type of cars you want, then we're going to go over and we're going to pick your top 5 cars, right? So let's do the same curve again. Let's say you have 20 cars. If you have the time and resources to go look at 20 cars in person, by all means, do that. Because out of 20 cars, you'll see a lot more that is worth it for you. But me personally, I had work. My friend had work that came with me. Shout out Gene. And life is just going to carry on regardless of if you're looking for a car or not. So in my case, I did not have the time to look at 20 cars. That's a lot of cars to look at. Like, this is different from a dealership. Like, at a dealership, You could knock out 10 cars at once. Like, just look at the lot, look at the lot. But marketplace, these people might be in different states, different opposite ways. So 20 cars is a lot. So I would say, look at the top 5 out of this 20. Boom, cut off the fat. If you can already see the trend, we're cutting off the fat. We have to be strategic here, because out of this 20, you're probably gonna have a solid 3 or 4 that you really, really want. So you're gonna cut all this fat off, scribble that out, X, boom, blow that up, send it away. You don't need all of this. You focus on that top 5, man. Car looks nice and the person's moving sketchy on the messages, that probably should not be a top 5, man, because the top 5 got to be cars that you actually think you're gonna buy. Then we're gonna go to the next step, withdrawing the cash. This might be a large sum of money, and depending on your budget, let's say you're gonna look at a car that costs 5,000, 5K. When I bought my car, I was going with the mindset that it was priced at, I believe it was 4,000. I took out 6,000 just to give myself options in case I saw a different deal that, you know what I mean, cost a little bit more but had less problems that I wanted to go look at. So I gave myself a little wiggle room. Just because you pull out 5,000 does not mean you need to spend 5,000. You're going to person to negotiate to drop this 5 down to probably 3.5. Like, you don't need to spend this whole 5. You can negotiate down. So just remember, you're pulling out money just to give yourself a little wiggle room. You know, if you have somebody bringing you to look at the car, you got to spend a little money, buy them gas, buy them some food, appreciate their time. You know what I mean? So you're pulling out 5. It does not mean you're spending 5. You're still going to negotiate. You can always just put the money back in your account. You know what I mean? So give yourself a little wiggle room if possible. But you're going to go to the bank and you're basically going to walk up to the teller and you're going to be like, yo, I'm here to pull out some money. They might ask you why or something. Buying a car. That's it. It's so simple. Like, when I was pulling out money, I ain't gonna lie, I'm a younger person, and for any older people watching, it's different now. You got online banking, all this stuff. Like, I don't need to go into the bank. I've probably been into the bank to the teller like twice or 3 times in my life. So going to the bank, I'll be nervous because it's like, I don't know what to expect. But I literally just went up to the teller and I was like, yo, I need 6,000 to go buy a car. And they was like, all right, give me your information. I gave them my account information. Boom, they had the bread, just gave it to me. She didn't give me an envelope, which is kind of crazy. I asked them for an envelope because if it's mad weird walking out with a stack of money in your hand. It's like, I feel like I'm gonna get robbed. So tell them to put it in the envelope before they hand it to you. You know what I mean? If because I'm an overthinker. As soon as I got all that money, I'm like, yeah, I need to do something quick because I do not like being around with all that bread on me. But the next step is a test drive. And the test drive is going to be the most important. I would say number 2, because the number 1 was finding your budget. That's setting up everything. That's getting the ball rolling. Without doing those steps, you don't even get to the test drive because you're looking at every single car you see. You can't make your mind up. You're not locking down on a decision. So test drive is a cool number 2 of importance because you already took the biggest step, and that's getting there in person. That's the most important thing you can do. You need to make sure the car is valid. You know what I mean? You meet up at a safe space. Police. Let's write it down. Yo, it's so hard to write. Police station. Across the street from the police station. In the police station parking lot. Anywhere near a police station. Would you rather get robbed in an alley or in front of the police station where the people that catch the bad guys are? You know what I mean? You want to be as safe as possible. It don't matter what your beliefs are, this and that. You're going to be more likely to get robbed in sketchy areas. So be safe, be mindful, because remember, you got cash on you. So you are a target. You need to move differently. Unless you're going to wire the money on spot, you're going to have some cash on you. That's just how marketplace deals work. You show up with cash. If you live in a stand your ground state, you're going to be with cash in a blick. But in my situation, I have no blick because I'm in Jersey, man. So I pull up at bro's crib, but he lived in a nice area. So I was, you know what I mean, I had my boy with me. We still had our guard up until we made sure that the situation was good. But do not meet in any unsafe areas, you know what I mean? Make sure it's valid. Make sure you take your time, look at the car, because if you're in an unsafe area, you're gonna have all these different factors that you probably gonna miss stuff because you worrying about something else. So make sure you know you're valid. Make sure the car is good. Look at everything. Look under it. Look for the rust. And boom, this gonna be the fun part right here. Legal paperwork. This is gonna be fun. This is where after you test drive, doubt is gonna get awkward. Because I remember when I test drove my Acura, we drove it around, we pulled back up, and bro was just like, all right, so like, what are you thinking? Because it's if you have a good experience, it's gonna be cool. You're gonna test drive, you know what I mean? Me and my boy Gene was there, and the dude that I bought the car from, we did have a couple of things in common. So we was yapping it up during the test drive. When I went to look at the car, it wouldn't start because it had some grounding issues. But at the time, I thought it was a starter. So, you know, we dumped the clutch, we got it started, and it was lit. We had fun. It was a cool experience. We was yapping. But then it comes to business. And in business, there's no friends. There's no friends. There's only alliances. And this person is not your alliance. This person is not your business partner. You're there to get the most for your buck. And the person you're buying the car from is there to get the most for their car. So you guys need to get the overhand over each other to win. You know what I mean? Like, there's no perfect situation really where both people come out on top, because even if you guys come to an agreement, you know what I mean, somebody has to give a little bit. That's normally how it goes. So you're gonna negotiate, and we had that convo where it's like he gave a price and I was like, you know what I mean, it has this and that wrong with it, so I'm thinking this. And then he was like, I don't know. And then you kind of go back and forth, you meet in the middle, and then boom, you shake hands. He brings out the title, and here comes the fun part. So on the back of the title, it's going to have his information, it's going to have your information, and you're going to sign it. You're going to put your stuff and you're going to fill it out. It's all X's marked on the top. So you're going to get the title. That's the first piece of legal documents that you're gonna have to sign. You have to put your information on the title. You're gonna put how much you paid for the car. As far as I'm concerned, this is a honesty thing, you know what I mean? Are you gonna put how much you actually pay for the car? That's what you're supposed to do. You know what I mean? You're supposed to always put how much you actually pay for the car, because this is how they're gonna go off of it and tax you when you go to motor vehicles later on. So if you weren't aware, when you buy a car cash off Marketplace, you have to pay taxes on it. So whether you put $1 on your title, or $10,000 on your title, or $250, you know what I mean? You got to put a number on your title. Y'all gonna agree to a number that you're gonna put on your title, which should be the number that you agree to actually buy the car for. Insurance, just pretend this is insurance. It's late. I don't feel like writing that again. You need insurance before you register the car. When you go to the MVC, Motor Vehicle Commission, they're going to say, hey, what's your policy number? You need that to register the car. You need insurance. Title, then insurance. But make sure you look into insurance before you buy the car, so you understand what the quotes are going to look like. You're not caught off guard. You know what I mean? This is stuff you have to do prematurely to save yourself. Before you look at the title, get insurance. Not get it, look at it. You look at insurance, get the car, and then you actually lock in insurance after you buy the car. You know what I mean? So you got to do this to get the car insured. I remember I did it at work, and normally insurance doesn't go in effect until like the next business day. And I did mine on a Friday. So I remember I had to call the agent. I'm like, yo, please, bro, I'm trying to get my car registered. Please put it into effect today. I need it right now. And they was able to make it happen, because I use the same insurance company that I have my Civic insured for. So that was kind of cool with me. And so you need insurance to get your car registered. And after you get insurance, you're going to head down to the good old motor vehicle, you know what I mean, commission. And you're going to go online, because, bro, I'm not going to tell you what to bring, and then you bring it and they say they don't accept it, bro. Because every time I've been to the DMV, they online says to bring this, and this. And I go there and they're like, nah, you need something else. So go online, look at every list, and bring everything possible. Even if the list says you don't need it, bring it anyway, bro. The worst thing is when you go to the motor vehicle and you wait in that long line and you don't get through because you were missing something. Make sure you have everything possible. Go to motor vehicle and to get the car registered, get a license plate for it. You're going to put the license plate on, and voila, you're good. You got insurance, you got your car registered, inspected if it needs to be inspected, but in most cases it's already inspected. So that's really all it takes to buy a cash car in 2026. Like, it's not as stressful as people make it seem. The hardest part is really, for me, was just finding a car that I know I wanted. There's so many different options out there. There's so many different cars. It's just like overwhelming. Like, it wasn't hard, it was overwhelming. Hopefully with this, 5-step video, it's pretty simple. Budget, narrow down the cars, go get the money, test drive it, fill out the paperwork, and boom, you have a car. Boys and girls, if you made it this far, thank you for watching. Thank you for tapping into the channel. If you haven't already, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know down below what other video you want to see. This video is actually an idea from a comment, so I do read every single comment. I respond to every single comment that I can, and I take the advice that's given to me because I'm making videos for people to see. So make sure y'all let me know down below what y'all trying to see next, man. Y'all see we out here making these videos regardless if we driving or not. So make sure y'all be safe out there. If you're buying a car, please let me know what other steps I'm missing out, because I feel like we covered a big bulk of what we need to right here. But yeah, still a solid video. I'm gonna catch y'all in the next video, guys. Peace.